This is going to be very long period since we don't have met, and it is our sixth session now. Uh, I want to welcome all of you here, and I think we can uh, proceed very fast, and we can complete all the 16 sessions as early as we can. Okay, there are technical issues, there are network issues, but we shall overcome all those issues. Kamal sir is coming and going. I think he has a network issue. Okay, please. I'm sorry. Please go there. Meeting salon. Okay. Right now I'm here sharing my screen. Here is my PPT. Okay, and is my PPT visible, Rabiullah sir? Can you see my screen, sir? Jasmine ma'am, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, yes. Okay. So welcome all my friends again here. A very fantastic and interesting session number 6. That from a lot of time we was not able to help this due to different my illness or Kamal sir's illness or other things and meetings going on and other things are going on there all the time. So because we are doing regular our job in our school and other society works and family work, and then we also have to make time to attend this webinar or online telecollaboration session. Okay. So already welcome all of you here in sixth session, and today topic of our sixth session is that sustainable development goal number 4, that is quality education. Okay, so there are points which we are going to cover in this session, that is life in your home time, that is my home time or your home time in my region. Okay, so I think we will elaborate all this topic in detail, talk about your culture, tradition of your region, then what do you think to your partner would enjoy from your region, what would you not, then if he come to your city, where you would take him and why, then where would you not to take him and why not. So these are the basic point of today's session, so we are going to cover. So first point is that culture and traditions, or if we go in deep, what is the culture and what are the traditions. So I think that thinking as a society, India and Bangladesh has a common history before 1947, and common culture, common traditions, even your language, that is Bengali, and our language, our Bengali, they are same languages. We are the people of the same culture and same tradition. So there are not differences in the culture and traditions, but still there are some cultural events and cultural basis. If you are looking at my screen, so here is a Georgia's and last temple of Lord Trimbakeshwara. This is the Shravan month according to Indian calendar, that is Shravan month, the 5th month of the Indian calendar. And in this month, every Monday is considered as the day of the Mahadev, god of the gods, that is Mahadev. And this temple is dedicated to Mahadev. And where I live in Nashik district of Maharashtra in India, from here it is only 22 kilometers away. If my friends will come here, so I will definitely show you this fantastic Mahadev temple. Then world organization that I think that is UNESCO. UNESCO has called Kumbh Mela as intangible heritage, and it is a very uh, brilliant feature of my place where I live, because it comes in the once in the 12 years. After 12 years, there is a Kumbh Mela one time. There are 4 places in India where Kumbh Mela is organized every year, but one city comes once in a 12 years. That is Ujjain, Haridwar, Kashi, and Nashik. So Nashik is, I am very proud about that. We have that place that all people from all over the world, from all parts of the world gather there. They think about philosophy, think about, this is one type of gathering. All the philosophers, all the panthas, sampradayas, kafilas come there and they discuss about the religion, about the lifestyle, about the way of worship, about the way of development, about the environment, about the religion, about the God, about the devotion. All the things are being discussed. Sorry for the interruption. My network was gone. So this is a very memorable as well as astonishing event in Nashik.
Sir, screen share is stopped.
Okay, so this is a world heritage, world intangible heritage declared by the UNESCO. That is the Simhastha Kumbh Mela. In every 12 years, it has been organized in my city. So whenever my friend you come here in Nashik, so it will be my pleasure to take you there and have fun with this all thing. Then this is the if you see these 2 pictures, this one and this one, you will think that what is this, but this is also very important feature of my region, that there are a lot of grapes nurseries here, grape gardens are here, and then winery, different type of wines, beers, and different type of brands, different type of factories are there, and different type of wines is being made from here. So it is very fantastic festival, and it has been identified as a winery tourism. Okay, people used to come here to see how winery is being made, and then refreshment, and then hill station tourism and other things there. Okay, then what my partner from Bangladesh would enjoy if they come to my city. Pardon me, friends, 1 second.
Yes, sir, you continue. Mr. Jesmem is trying to join us. He has issued a network.
Okay, sorry, sir. My kids are dancing there and they're making lot of noise, so I have to stop them. Okay, sir. So when you come to Nashik, that is my place in India. So what would you enjoy? So I have selected some places that you can enjoy. Here is as I said that in winery there are different type of event organized. So here is a Sula Fest, that is a famous Sula wines in India, and there this festival is organized, and all people from all over the world used to come there and enjoy wine, enjoy dancing, enjoy singing, enjoy refreshment, enjoy wandering and all the things. So this is the famous, world famous Sula Fest, and that is in my city. If you come to India, if agar Allah ne chaha, so if Allah have planning for us, we can meet in India or in Bangladesh. No one can say anything about the future. So if you come in India, so this should be the very enjoyable event for you. Then next thing is that here is a Ram temple where Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar have made satyagraha in 1930. Yes, in 1930. That is this famous Ram temple is made of black stone, and it is very beautiful crafting and beautiful designing, and very gorgeous temple in the city, my city. So when you may come here, we can go there, and I think that I have full confidence that you can enjoy this place also. Then this is the fort, Ramses Fort, and you, as I said, that I have fun of trekking and going to different hill stations and forts. So this fort in 17th century, there was a great emperor of India. I think that you may know about him. Last effective and strong Mughal emperor, that is Aurangzeb, Alamgir Aurangzeb, who tried continuously to conquer this fort for 6 years. And there were only 400 people on this fort, but still, with having lakhs of sepoys and lakhs of army, Aurangzeb couldn't conquer this fort. So it is the symbol of bravery and fighting spirit of the people of this my region. So it is a very, you can see, here is a lake, you can see water there, and here is another lake, there is water, and here road goes from this side to Nasik city, and after these fields, there is a city, white spot you are looking there. So there I live, that is my house, and from my house it is only 10 kilometers, maybe less than 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers away from my house. So when we will get chance, you can come to India and you can enjoy this place. It's very fantastic to explain. There are so many places in India, but here I am presenting about my very native place. Okay, then you can see this picture of great revolutionary philosopher and freedom fighter of India, that is Swatantraveer Savarkar. I think in the second or third session we had showed about the cellular jail from Andaman. So this city, Nasik city, where I live, is the birthplace of this man, that is Swatantraveer Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, and his native place, his bungalow, that means old bungalow, that type of mud. Here is a mud, you see the walls are made of mud, and wooden pillars are there, and there are Kaularu ghar, that is Kaularu house. It has been maintained as it is by Nashik Municipal Corporation and Government of India. It is also very inspiring place to visit, and it is also 25 to 30 kilometers away from my home. So all these things are very close to me, very near to me. Whenever you come, I invite you, all of you, when you come to India, so I will going to show you all these places. Okay. The next, what point of our today's meeting point is that SDG number 4, that about quality education. So we are going to discuss about these points in this session. So first point is that objective, targets, and indicators. What are the objectives of SDG 4? What are the targets, and what are the indicators? Okay. I think Kamal sir has a problem to join. Okay, not an issue. Okay. So here are target. You can see in my screen that first is a quality primary and secondary education for all. Second is early childhood and pre-primary education, because there are such a horrible condition of pre-primary education everywhere in the world. Third is that equal access to TVET and higher education. Fourth is skill for decent work, because decent work is easy, and without education you cannot have decent work. Without education you cannot have skill. Then fifth is a gender equality and equal access for all, whether it may be male, female. Then there are LGBT community, if you are listening, that transgender, lesbian, gay, bisexual. So there are different type of peoples and different type of understandings and different type of tastes, attitudes, understanding. So all need to have equal access toward the education. Then youth and adult literacy, because when India get freedom from English people, then literacy rate of India, and same about Bangladesh, it was 18%. Right now it is 80, maybe more than 80. About the census of 2011, it was 74%. But right now 10-11 year has been passed, and due to COVID-19, last census has not been conducted in India. Maybe India's literacy rate right now has been crossed 85 or 84%. So adult literacy needs to be improved. This is the sixth number of objective there. Then seventh is the sustainable development.
স্যার
জি ম্যাম, স্যারের এখানে তো নেটওয়ার্কের সমস্যা যা বোঝা যাচ্ছে।
My network was gone.
অনেক খারাপ স্যার।
কামাল স্যার যুক্ত হয়েছেন।
Okay. So I was talking about the education. You can see my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen and listen my voice? Okay. Kamal sir, am I audible? And can you see my screen? Rabiullah sir?
হ্যালো, আমাকে শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? হ্যালো,
Am I audible, sir? Rabiullah sir? Hello, hello. Hello,
sir, your microphone is stopped, sir.
My mic. Okay. So we are discussing this indicators of the quality educations in India, and I think this adult literacy was the issue at the time of independence, but right now we have managed to attain that rate till 85 or 80%, more than 80%. Then seventh goal is that sustainable development and global citizenship. So right now you are in the Dhaka, I am in the Nasik,
but still feel that we are the member of one family. We are close friends, and we are discussing our issues with each other. We are showing our place to our friends and each other. So that is the main goal of the education and quality education, that everyone need to be the global citizen. I am not only Indian, I am not only Bangladeshi, I am not only American, I am not only Australian. So I am the part of this all the globe and all the universe, and I am universal citizen. That is the main objective of this quality education. Then next is that safe and inclusive learning environment, because there are a lot of mostly from America, there are a lot of news we regularly listen that there are firing in the school, or in Afghanistan bomb spot, bomb blast in the school in Afghanistan, or you know that the example of Malala Yousafzai. So all these happening due to not having safe and inclusive learning environment. So that should be created from this sustainable development goals. Then scholarship for higher education, because there are a lot of people who wanted to learn more, but they don't have economic condition properly, so they cannot attain the higher education due to low economic condition. So there need to be something scholarship have to be provided to them. Our lot of scholars like Rajaram Mohan Roy, from Rajaram Mohan Roy to Lokmanya Tilak and Savarkar and Gandhiji, all have gone to Britain and learn more on the basis of scholarship. Okay, so it is very important for higher education. Then professional development of teacher. There are a lot of teachers who are working well, but proportion of those people teacher, I don't think is very commendable, because you and me, we all have holidays on Sunday, still we are making this seminar, we are making meetings, we are going to schools and other things. But some peoples are there, they are just working without any goal. That is any aimless job, that is a hopeless job. So teacher should be professional, everyone should be professional, but teacher need to be more professional, and this is the main indicator of this quality education, I think. So these are the indicators of this quality education. Then next, here are current status of India. This is a very old data, as I mentioned, but still I want to say that here was a 2011. This is data. This is a data from 2011, that there are adult literacy was 74.04%, and in rural areas it was lesser than that. And for the Divyang people, that is disabled people, it was then more less than that. And this is a global rate, and India is a very less than global average. Okay, so this is the current status. Then what is Fundamental Act? Here is a Right to Education Act. According to this act, every child need to be enrolled in the school. It is a responsibility of government according to Article number 21 of Indian Constitution. It has been by the 86th constitutional amendment of the Constitution. It has been included in the Constitution, and about that, with that act, it has been fundamental right of every child which is born in India. Okay, so this is very fundamental act, basic act in the field of education in India. Then right now, it has been national education policy launched by current government, that is it reached to invest 6% of GDP, which has been said many times before, but it is not coming to reality. But right now government want to make it reality. Then MHRD has been renamed as a Ministry of Education. This was the key change. And right to education until class 10. As I said, in this act, it was for only 14 years, that is 7th or 8th class. But here, this government says that it is for 12th class or till 18 years. Then 15% gross enrollment ratio by
No.
2035. This has been the new target of this new education policy, national, that is called National Education Policy 2020. This is the agenda of right now government. Okay, so these are the schemes and these are the acts. Then they what I says that the enrollment ratio has been improved till from this RT Act when is enrolled in India, enacted in India. Then girl enrollment ratio has been gone very up according to this due to this act. Then proportion of schools with boundary and other these fundamental and basic structural problems were there, which has been recovered by after this act. Then all these going on, and I think India is doing good in education sector. So this was all from my PPT. So I want to thank you, all of you, all my guests and all my friends from Bangladesh. And I hope that you could listen it properly, you could see it properly, and I need to listen about your feedback. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your nice presentation. But I have disconnected for several times.
I also disconnected for several times.
So all the presentation, no, all the slides of your presentation is not visible to me because
Okay.
I have disconnected for, I think, for 9 times.
Okay, not an issue. I am going to upload this recording to YouTube. Then we can all see that. Okay.
And you please you send me mail.
Yes, I will mail my PPT to you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Kamal sir, are you ready? Kamal sir?
Yes, ready.
Okay, so we are going to leave this meeting, and then in another session you will present, because right now there is a 3 minute remaining, and I think in 3 minutes you are not going to able to present all your presentation. Okay, sir? Okay, sir. Rabiullah sir, am I right?
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So let us leave this meeting, and after that we will join again. Okay. Thank you.